This is me just coming to speak about myself and the things that I do. I am a relationship coach, a family life practitioner, and I didn't start my life thinking that this is what I was going to become. I actually stumbled into this along the journey of life. So, why I became a coach, even though I didn't quite know that was the reason, was first of all, I started out from a polygamous home. And I had a lot of people around me who tended to have turbulent marriages. I used to wonder if there was no way it could be different. Like, why do people have to go through all these things before they can, you know, have a good marriage? Isn't there a better way? Is there no way that they can actually choose to be with someone that actually gives them peace? So it's something that has always been at the back of my mind, but of course, I never really knew, you know, what it was about. Fast forward, I finished school, did my NYC, got a job, and I worked for like 12 years in that job. It was an amazing time of my life. I more or less took on like an HR role where I was a mediator between my boss and the staff. And I was really good at it. I was good at managing people, being able to mediate and all of that. And all of that, of course, built me into who I am today. And of course, after the 12 years, the job had ended. And here I was at 40. And I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? My formal education was in microbiology because I wanted to be a doctor like my dad, but it just didn't work out. And I didn't see myself going to that medical field. At 40, I felt maybe I was too late. Nothing could work out for me going forward. But somehow I just grabbed that will to continue. And when I was younger in the uni, my siblings used to ask me, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I said, when I'm 40, I will know. And it was 40 that I got that turning point. I got married at 29. Yeah, so by 40, I was already married for 11 years. Yeah. And then I now decided, okay, I need to do something different. What's going to happen to me? Where do I go to from here? And then a friend of mine recommended me going for a coaching program, Lanre Olushola in Lagos, leaving Akwa Ibom, leaving my children at home to go down to Lagos to take a course on something I wasn't really sure of. When I got there, it was so revealing, the things that we're teaching. I mean, you would not believe that it's at 40 that I really put a name to like emotional intelligence, to even understand personal development, to understand that there is so much, there was a big gap in my life that I didn't know about. But yet I was so good at mediating, diplomacy, and all of that. I never really studied for it. And so along that journey, from then on, understanding myself more, understanding that this is where I really fit in. I'm an empath. I'm someone who fits into coaching. And so I'm like, okay. So I did life coaching and NLP level one. And yeah, I finished that. And then next thing I was like, okay, now that I'm done with that, what next for me? I know in those moments when you're pondering, you're thinking, you're worrying, you're crying, you're praying. That very day I saw um ELCAN, that is the Body Life Coaching Association of Nigeria. They're doing a program, and usually they call people in to just speak to coaches so they can, know different niches. And then there was career, there was marriage, or all of relations, family life. Yeah, career, family life, and one other one. I don't know if it's finance. And immediately I saw that there were three breakout rooms. Immediately I saw family. That kind of subconscious thing. I just jumped into the family breakout room, and my boss and mentor, Praise Fullway, was the one who was speaking for family. And I ended up searching and digging for his institute. Where could I find this man? And I searched and searched, and I found out that he had the Institute of Family Engineering and Development that he created, and where he taught coaches how to handle family life issues and all of that. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. And so then I got into studying family life. It was an amazing program, and I learned the in-depth. And you know, when it comes to personal development, it's first for you even before your clients. And so I learned a lot of things around parenting, around me as a wife, about family, what kind of family you want to build, the things that you should infuse, and all of that. And I said to myself, goodness, this is something that people need to know. And along the line, I now said, okay, let's see. And I started, general family life, I could do couples and the rest. And then I'll start creating digital products. And the digital products now tilted more towards singles. And I'm like, okay, this must be a sign. This must be a sign. And eventually I found out that I'm passionate about helping singles. I'm passionate about singles because you get a chance to learn what you need to know before you actually decide to say yes to someone. It is so deep what you as a single need to unpack before you settle down with anyone. Married people, yes, I can coach them. I see married people need to come together because it takes two to tango. And many times one might come in, the other is not interested, and it just goes on and on. And even if one person does all the work, it really cannot work because, you need to be together as a team to get things moving. So with singles, I feel better being able to guide them because then they're now taking these decisions from a place of clarity and conviction. And of course, if you come as an engaged couple, help you align, help you to understand yourselves better. So you realize that most people don't have a love problem, they have a clarity problem. And that's why I call myself a relationship clarity strategist because I help you gain clarity, not just about the marriage you want to go into. I help you gain clarity around yourself. I help you gain clarity around your partner. I help you gain clarity around your expectations, clarity around your assumptions, clarity around your communication and your conflict styles, clarity around marriage itself. Like, how do you understand marriage and how does your partner understand marriage? So, clarity is something that is learnable. And I really, really want to impact the world in a way that singles can confidently make up their minds about who they decide to settle with. I really want people to have that peace, knowing that they're taking on a decision that they decided and they were not coerced into it because of pressure, family pressure, finances, the biological clock is ticking. My parents said this, my parents said that. So that's one of my greatest desires. And because of this, I've actually created quite a number of digital products, not many, a bundle of a book, some books and audio about intimacy. I created an academy. That's one I'm so proud of, and I'm looking forward to thousands of people going through that academy yearly. Academy on how to choose, build, and sustain a healthy relationship online. Also, I do one-on-one sessions, helping people unpack and understand themselves better. So my being here today, I don't have a perfect story, but this is me more or less saying, instead of me just watching people go through this, let me put myself out there and be a guide and be a helper so that people don't go through the kind of things that many of my loved ones have been through. Many of my loved ones are stuck in marriages that they had no business being in. And if I can get as many singles as possible to get the right direction, the right guide towards having a great relationship, then so be it. I'd like you to also subscribe to this channel, and I want to try as much as possible to drop one long form video a week, just to let you understand more about why you as a single person need to be more careful about your choices when it comes to getting married. I remain Jo-Jean Imoh-Ita, a relationship clarity strategist. You don't have a love problem. You have a clarity problem, and clarity is what I do. See you next time.